Hey, welcome to the Kingdom Living Tool. I think that this part of your discipleship journey is going to be incredibly impactful because it's very practical. We're going to start answering this question. What does it mean to live in the way of Jesus in every aspect of our life? See, because here lies the problem that we have different categories for our life. We have a category and we have a section just for our home environment, our family, our marriage, our parenting, whatever your home looks like. And then we have one for work. It has its own relationships, its own challenges. And then we have one for our social life, for our hobbies and whatever else you have going on outside of home and outside of work. And then we have one for finance. And that list, it just continues going on until you come to your faith. And it's its own category all to itself. And here lies the problem that we were never supposed to live our faith like a category where it doesn't come in contact or impact these other parts of our life. In fact, Jesus said that he didn't come to create a new category. He came to bring an entirely new kingdom to this world. That his kingdom looks different than anything else that we've experienced. In fact, he says that there is two different kingdoms. There's the kingdom of the world, and it has its own corrupt value system, and that there's the kingdom of God, and that when he came to this world, the kingdom of God came with him. Paul went to talk about this idea in Colossians chapter 1. He said that Jesus came to rescue us from the kingdom of the world. In fact, Paul says the kingdom of world is the kingdom of darkness, and that he came to rescue us from that kingdom and to bring us to the kingdom of light. And so we want to ask ourselves, what kingdom are we living for? Are we living for the kingdom of the world, the kingdom of darkness, or are we following the way of Jesus and living in the kingdom of light, God's kingdom? And we want to do that not just in this broad sense, but in a very specific way where we want to take some categories that we were talking about and say, hey, what are the values of the kingdom of the world? And what are the values of the kingdom of God? And begin to write underneath what some of those are. And then ask, well, what am I living like? So take, for instance, finance. We're going to take finance and we're going to say, hey, what kingdom values does the world have when it comes to finance? Like, we're going to accumulate more, or we're going to use finance to be comfortable. And we're going to begin to make a list of what that looks like. And then we're going to ask, well, what does the kingdom of God have? Well, when it comes to finance, it's things like generosity and using our finance to not just for self, but for others. And then we can finally answer the question, what kingdom am I living for? Where can I follow the way of Jesus to a greater degree? For your group, it might not be finance that needs to be talked about. It might need to be work or how we lead in our professions or how we are as fathers or how we are as parents. You kind of get the idea. There can be a list of things. So pick 2 or 3 or 4 and dive into those questions, listing out the values of each kingdom. And then examine your heart and ask the question, am I following the way of Jesus in every part of my life? And how can I be a greater participant in the kingdom of God as I pursue the way of Jesus?